Hi there. My name is Darian, and I manage the Global Solutions Engineering team here at DigitalOcean. And today I'm talking with Robert from MultiverseX. I know I just kind of spoiled it, Robert, but can you go ahead and briefly introduce yourself and what you do at MultiverseX?
Hello everyone, I'm Robert. I'm one of the core developers of MultiversX. Back then it was named Elrond. We started back in 2018. We wanted to resolve the blockchain trilemma and we did it through sharding, partitioning. And I am here developing this kind of protocol since the beginnings and still pushing ahead with a lot of innovations to come.
Awesome, thank you. And I always remember working with you guys back when you were Elrond. I loved the name back then. I love it now. Can you tell us? You talked about solving the trilemma as the basic company mission for when you guys were first founded. Is that what still defines MultiverseX as a company, and is that what you're still working on today?
Even right now, we want to accelerate and to scale more and more because we see that this is needed in order for you to have awesome applications. So back when we started, 6 seconds block, let's say, were wow and were small, and everybody was wow. That's a good number. Right now, as we have new protocols who are launching, for example, under 1 second or 1 second blocks, we feel obliged to do that as well. So in this year, for example, we changed our consensus mechanism to make it more faster, and in upcoming upgrades, we will go from 6 seconds block up down to 1 second block, or even further down because we just see that it works. Technology evolves, we can upgrade the protocol with governance, with on-chain governance, and then by doing this, all the applications which are built on top of the protocol just get a tons of benefits.
Okay. It's interesting. So I know blockchain itself is sort of a disruptive industry. Would you say that MultiverseX is a disruptor within blockchain? And if so, like in what way are you disrupting blockchain?
I think we wanted to stay true to the properties and the primitives of blockchain of a decentralized ledger, which you can validate or execute at home. That's why we chose sharding. So right now you can run the whole system with on your own laptop at your home, validate everything. The system scales by introducing more and more shards, which means that only inexpensive machines have to be deployed more and more. That's how everything in the web scales. It's not by building one big supercomputer, but by partitioning your execution, your data, your networking, everything. So we take that one and put into the blockchain and make it seamless for users and developers to create anything on that, using the most advanced possible developer experience tools, using Rust to develop their contracts, or JavaScript or Swift, and make it actually easy for them to create and also for auditors to easily validate everything which exists. We figured out that if we can eliminate a few attack vectors at the protocol level, then everybody who builds on top of the protocol has an easier job. For example, reentrancy attacks are protected, or and then nobody have to work super hard in order to resolve all the edge cases which comes with reentrancy, which we see from the other ecosystems how hard it is. So these are some of the things we have done, and we still see a lot of ways to scale and to innovate in order to make it even more streamlined for the new builders to come and create what's actually, let's say, applications. For me, it's are the most important because then you can use the properties blockchain gives and leverage it uh, and present it to the users. And when you do it in a seamless manner, then it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it's interesting. I always felt like blockchain was sort of this attempt to democratize consensus, and that was the basic idea of the technology. But these days, there's so many big providers of the massive companies doing all this compute work. So it's good to hear that MultiverseX is still focused on keeping everybody engaged in blockchain, making sure everybody can get into it. And I think that aligns as well with DigitalOcean's mission of trying to make sure that all developers can access these neat new technologies and can work on the bleeding edge stuff. So I think that's why Dio and MultiverseX have always been good partners, and I've always really liked working with you guys. Before DigitalOcean, were you using any other cloud providers, or have you had significant experience with those prior to coming to DigitalOcean?
I think DigitalOcean was one of the first, and only after that we went to others and tried others out as well, because I think it was the easiest to integrate with DigitalOcean. And after that, when we started to have some kind of traction, then the others started to offer services as well. So that's how it went. But for example, for a blockchain, it is super important to not be in only one place. You want to be resistant to state attacks and for everything out there. So that's why we like people to run at home, run at VPSs, and run in multiple services. So not to have concentrated in one place. You are just more resistant, and then this kind of resistance is important in the blockchain world.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's the experience a lot of startups have had with Dio is that it's we have a lot of companies start with DigitalOcean because it's so easy to get stood up on the platform and figure out what you need to do and get your customers quick access. So it's good to hear that that was MultiverseX's experience as well. I was wondering if you could talk about, are there any specific aspects of DigitalOcean services that you find particularly valuable for MultiverseX or that have been super helpful for your work?
Scaling was always helpful. Being able to scale on demand and to run services which actually scale on demand, for example, microservices or front ends, was always on top of the blockchain, was always a helpful thing to do, because for example, when you look at the exchanges or DeFi or actually the usage of a wallet, uh, and then on the back end you have all those services which are fetching data and giving data out to the users. Those needs to scale on demand, because at night nobody is using, or there is low number of persons who are using the network, because that's true. And then when there are like big market changes, price changes, or there is a new launch for a new application, that's when you need demand. That's when you have demand and you need to scale. So having these kinds of solutions at super easily set up, uh, that's uh, that's just a must, I think, in the in the era of internet. And that's what makes it fun, because you don't have to prepay for 100 machines by start. You just pay for what you use, and then when there is more demand, and then just nodes are spinning up, and that's great. uh, yeah, and I think this is what we managed to do with the architecture of not only at the validator side or observing code size, but at the services side as well, in which we made sure that all these kinds of services are scalable with solutions like DigitalOcean, and then to use those super easily. So that's why it's, for example, it's really important to be able to run everything on inexpensive machines, because you can just spin up hundreds of inexpensive machines at on demand.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for talking about that, Robert. I'm curious. Something I've been hearing a lot about recently has been sovereign chains, and I'm not personally familiar with what exactly that means. I think it sounds like you were maybe talking about it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to kind of just for my own edification and understanding, what is a sovereign chain and what is MultiverseX doing with it?
So we've been developing the MultiverseX scaling ecosystem, everything since 2000, early 2018. It's been working on the mainnet in 2020, and then a lot of innovation have just coming up and coming up. And then all this layer two space have come, I don't know, let's say last year when it started, and then there is somewhat a boom right now. But even before that, when we were speaking with institutions or corporations, everybody wanted to run his own kind of chain, but they had problems if they run their chain. One, it costs a lot, and then how do they make the connections with the actual another with the actual open blockchain world? So we took all the innovations we created at MultiverseX level and made an SDK for it. And then you can spin up your own blockchain in less than 20 minutes. There is a great blog post and a few videos about it. And it's not only that you spin up your own blockchain, but you have a seamless native cross-chain operation module spin up as well for your blockchain to be connected to the MultiverseX ecosystem. That's one of the start. And then from here, we are creating this native cross-chain operation module to be workable between sovereign chains and sovereign chains, and between sovereign chains to Bitcoin, sovereign chains to Ethereum, to Solana, to the Cosmos IBC system as well. And then all put into a nice package, and you can run it as you want. The thing is why I think it's, let's say, a big improvement of what exists out there is that you can run over 50,000 transactions per second uh, on inexpensive nodes, on inexpensive machines. So 4 cores, 8 gigabytes of RAM or 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then you can just spin and run thousands of transactions per second. And you can have also multi-VM capabilities, multiple virtual machines.
Awesome. Yeah, well, you heard it here, folks. Check out multiversex.com and check out the sovereign chains section. And if you want, you can get started with your own sovereign chain right on DigitalOcean with a 4-core, 8 gig of RAM VM, not too expensive, and see what all the fuss is about. Thanks so much, Robert, for taking the time here today. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody watching really appreciates it as well. Really look forward to seeing how this stuff works out, and hopefully seeing a few new people create sovereign chains on DigitalOcean. Thanks so much.
Yes, I can't wait to see them running because I think it will be great.